Hey there, friends. It's your Bad Couch Guru, Lynn Limbergen. Yes, it is still my birthday week in quarantine, nearing the tip of the coronavirus. Today, that I'm actually recording is, what day is it? It's Monday, April 6th, and this episode is airing in about 10 days? Yeah, on April 16th. Now, I hope you're all still in my deal with me for my birthday since nobody can get together. What I'm asking for my birthday is that every day for the rest of this week, and there's only 3 days left, to do 47 squats, any kind of squats, I don't care, in honor of my 47th birthday. My official birthday is tomorrow, Friday. And so I decided that what I would do for my birthday and the way I'd celebrate it is sit here in front of the microphone and talk all about me. Okay, so Monday we talked a lot about my just what was going to go on and why all of this. Tuesday we talked about the 5 whys of exercise. For me, we went pretty deep. Wednesday we went a little bit deeper and talked about some of the stuff around my bikes that I owned and that story. So check those out if you haven't heard them already. Today, holy moly guacamole, we're talking about Lynn's bikini body. Okay. I am not posting photos of me in a bikini. That's not what this is all about. And if this is your first podcast with me and you're trying to figure out how to get a bikini body, you have come to the wrong place. That is not what we are about. Although we do joke that we would never complain, right? I want to talk about my background, my history of the body image that I had growing up and now as a 47-year-old in the health and fitness space, going against most of the fitness marketing out there that's all 100% about, lean and ripped and bikini and sweaty six-pack ab. We know that. What has gotten me to where I am today? And then we're going to do all of it without mentioning weight and a scale at all, except for now I'm mentioning that I'm not going to mention weight or a scale. And then tomorrow on my birthday, I'm actually going to share, can't believe I'm doing this, but for a very specific and very deep pointed reason, I'm actually going to share what my weight was at all these different times in my life with my body image. Okay. So let's go back and I'll sit down on my velvet couch here and we'll just pretend Lynn's in therapy. Kind of feels like it a little bit. And I gotta say, honest to goodness, when I was a kid, I don't really remember anything about body image. And I think it was partly because there was nothing really different about me. And in the 70s and early 80s, I didn't really have anything that was super teasable. And you guys know what I'm talking about. It was kind of rough growing up and wonderful all at the same time, right? We got to play tag and hide and go seek through the whole neighborhood, but we also beat each other up behind the schoolyard in middle school. But I don't remember really thinking about it, but I do remember my grandma saying something ridiculous like, if you eat too much, your stomach will grow, and that's what makes people fat. And I was like, that was the only thing I knew about it. But for some reason, it really did stick with me. And I didn't want my stomach to grow and stretch. Well, we know that's BS now. We know that's like, okay, let's not even go there. But in middle school and high school and college, I was one of those people who was one of the skinny kids. I could pretty much eat whatever I wanted to. And I don't think I necessarily ate horrible, but I didn't necessarily eat great either. I just ate what was given to me as a kid growing up. And again, I stayed, relatively thin. I wasn't necessarily fit because I wasn't into athletics or any kind of sports at all. But I just really hung on to my self-image as a just a pretty face, right? And anybody who was overweight back then, I'm ashamed to say, I'm absolutely freaking ashamed to say that I would judge people who were overweight when I was middle school, high school, maybe early college, because I thought that I had it all figured out because it wasn't a problem for me. And even just the words, it wasn't a problem, right? I mean, even that's triggering a little bit to me now. But the fact that I had some good genetics, I had nothing really wacky happening to me to make weight ever a struggle. And then I was for years a school teacher. So I was on my feet, moving around, running around all the time. And then I went home and I did, dishes and laundry and house. I mean, like I never sat still ever. So weight was never an issue for me. And so I thought I had it figured out. To make it even worse, I had my first baby when I was 30 years old, and my first and only. Holy moly, was that a delivery? Another podcast for another day. I'll call it the year I sat on a donut pillow. Not for the faint of heart. Okay, so when I had my baby, I was hell-bent on getting back to my pre-pregnancy weight, mostly because I wanted to prove to others that it was something I could do. That was it. And I had 35 pounds, and that back then I really was watching the scale, right? My body totally changed, but I was watching the scale. It took me a full year. I was completely obsessed. I watched every single thing I put in my mouth. I watched every calorie. And I would go as far as if I ordered a sandwich and they didn't have fat-free mayonnaise, which like what the heck is even fat-free mayonnaise? I would just say hold the mayonnaise. I was completely obsessed. As a matter of pride and as a matter of just gritting and self-discipline, not necessarily to make me happier. Took me a year, and I did it. And you would think that would be like just the most amazing, glorious accomplishment ever. And granted, I'm not going to tell you I'm not proud of myself for doing that. I'm not going to tell you I wish I didn't take off the extra weight. I wish I just stayed, with all the weight I gained in my pregnancy. No, I'm going to be totally honest with you here. I'm not going to say I have all the right answers though either, or that I'm the perfect example, which is why I train people on Couch to Active, not on nutrition and food and self-image. I'm just sharing my story because it's my birthday birthday week. I better do a birthday weekend too. I digress. So I got back to my pre-pregnancy weight, and I had never, ever in my life felt so unlovable. I just remember this was part of what I call my dirty 30s, when I had just so many really, really tough things happen in my life. And a lot of them were in the love and relationship department. And, I really thought, what the hell is wrong with me? Why am I so unlovable? And thank God it's been like 15 years and I've worked through it, and I'm like, to hell with that. I'm lovable now. But back then I really believed it. And I knew in my head that maybe I could feel lovable again. But in my heart, I wasn't sure. I really doubted it. So you take someone like that who's just been through some real hardships, and now I'm in a city on my own with some very dear friends, thank God, but no family within a few hundred miles. I was divorced, and I spent the next 10 years dating. So between my 30s and early 40s, I spent 10 years dating, and that dating, as you would think as a mature woman, would be like liberating and empowering, and what a great, I gotta admit, there were some fun things about it, and I made some great memories. But it was for me, someone who had never struggled with weight before, somebody who had never really struggled with self-image. I mean, I never was had a perfect self-image, but and I always thought, oh, I just need to lose a couple more pounds. But that was all of us back in the 70s and 80s, right? I mean, that was just, we were programmed that way. But here I am, just really feeling completely unlovable and confused. And I got to tell you, that was the days of online dating. I mean, I met guys that I'd go on a first date with, and they would say, thank you so much for putting a picture of your whole body, because I'm scared to meet a woman who's just got her face on the profile. And sorry, folks, might be triggering for some of you, so feel free to just delete or move on if it is. But I'll just tell you what I really experienced, so you can see how it impacted me. But they said, those online profiles, these online dating profiles, I'm scared to meet a woman if it's only her face, because I'm afraid I'll see her in real life and she'll be fat. And I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that this dude is telling me this. And I had more than one man tell me. And at that time, I got myself all the way down to a size 4. I was tiny for a 5'5" woman. And I had several men on first or second dates tell me that I was average, and that and I was a skinny half marathon runners. I mean, you could stalk my Facebook profile if you want, go and see, I was running half marathons, not very good, not very fast, but I was one of those skinny runner girls back then. And I was told by several men that that they knew lots of women who were in a lot better shape than me and a lot skinnier than me. And I'm like, what the hell? I was dating a guy once, and I was a Pilates instructor, half marathon runner, in excellent shape. And one time I said to him, I said to him, I wonder that if I ever got sick and gained 50 pounds, I wonder if you would still love me. And without missing a beat, he looked at me and jokingly and in all seriousness said, 50 pounds, try 30. And he laughed and then changed the subject. And I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, it became such a part of my normal that I really began to believe that that's just how all men were, and that my worth really was tied into my weight and my physique. And it just made me to become super duper obsessed with it, thinking, oh my God, if I actually, is my value really just in this meat suit? And it really kind of made me angry. And don't tell me about different yo-yos I've had with short hair and long hair too, but that's a whole nother topic. In comes the body positive movement. None of that existed during these stories I was telling you about. In comes the book Health at Every Size by Lindo Bacon. In comes me getting remarried to a wonderful man. And in comes me having health issues and gaining that 50 pounds. So tomorrow, I'm going to tell you what my exact weights were and what my exact weight is today at the time of recording this. And the reason I'm going to do that is because we have this wonderful body positive movement. We have this wonderful, the scale does not really dictate if we're beautiful or if we're healthy or how healthy we are. And if this is new to you, if you think if you're fat, you're automatically not healthy, go back and listen to a whole lot more podcasts and look up Lindo Bacon and her work. It's amazing. You got to trust me on it for now. The reason I'm going to share my weight when everybody else is saying smash the scale is because I believe secrets hold power. And I believe that for me to share my weight is a way of me liberating myself from the power of the scale. And I do not recommend it for really anybody else to do, because there's a lot behind this, and I've been thinking about this for a long time. So it's not something we willy-nilly do, but I'm going to lead that trail. I'm going to blaze that trail of saying, yeah, not only should we really not be as worried about the scale as we thought, but we can also be liberated and choose whether we're going to throw the scale away, or whether we're going to not share our numbers, or whether we're going to share our numbers to the world. And it doesn't matter what we choose to do, because none of that has anything to do with our worth as a human. So yeah, when I look back at all my years and the body image I had, and I look back at pictures of me half my age, I look at them and I remember thinking I looked okay or average in the moment. Now I look at them and I'm like, damn, girl, you were hot. You didn't even know it. So this episode really needed a little extra time, because I know that our bikini bodies and what we think about our body image is a huge topic. No pun intended. Alrighty. Whew. Let's see if I can do this episode tomorrow on my birthday. Have a good evening, y'all, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Don't forget those 47 squats. Yes, squats. All right. Bye. Exercise should not be dreadful, but getting off the couch is the hardest thing we do. And so, Couch to Active has an all-new website to match our all-new world we live in now. Head over to couchtoactive.com and finish step number 1 today. Did you know that Couch to Active has an app? It's the easiest way to keep track of and follow the Couch to Active podcast. So head on over to your app store, and it doesn't matter whether you're on an iPhone, a tablet, or an Android device. Search for Couch to Active, that's T-O Active. Download the app and check it out. Bye-bye now.